So hey, what's up guys, this is AK, and you are watching my YouTube channel AKM. So guys, welcome back to a brand new tips and tricks video of PUBG Mobile. Shotguns are one of the most powerful weapons in PUBG Mobile, but they are also one of the most misunderstood. A good shotgun player can completely dominate close-range fights against enemies using SMGs or assault rifles. It is not because the shotgun is overpowered, it is because they understand how to use it in the right situations. Whether you prefer the S1897, S686, DBS, S12K, or the NS2000, every shotgun rewards smart decision-making much more than panic. The biggest mistake most players make is treating every shotgun the same. They rush into fights without thinking about distance, positioning, or how their weapon performs. Then, when they lose, they blame their luck, their sensitivity, or even the game. The truth is that even players with excellent controls can lose shotgun fights if they make the wrong decisions before they even fire. In this video, I am going to cover 3 important things that can completely change the way you play with shotguns. First, we will briefly talk about shotgun attachments. Then we will focus on the most important part, which is using shotguns effectively through better positioning and smarter decisions. Finally, I will introduce a simple training drill that you can use to improve your consistency. If you start applying these habits, you will notice that your close-range fights become much more reliable. So with that said, let's get started. Now before we get into the first topic, which is shotgun attachments, I want you to understand one thing. Attachments are only a small part of the equation. Even the best setup cannot save you if your positioning and decision-making are poor. I will explain the attachment section first, and then we will move to the part that actually wins you more fights. Now, before we talk about aim, let's first understand the attachments, because using the right attachment can make your shotgun much more consistent. DBS is a special case, you cannot use any attachments on it. Even with no attachments, it's one of the most versatile weapon in PUBG Mobile. Nowadays every player uses DBS because of its versatility and damage. Well, we can talk about DBS in another video. Let's talk about the attachments. Now here is something that many players don't know. There are only 2 shotgun-specific muzzle attachments in the game. The first one is the choke. The second one is the duckbill. Every shotgun that supports muzzle attachments, including the S12K, can use these 2 shotgun attachments. The S12K is unique because it can also equip regular muzzle attachments like the flash hider and the compensator. Now let's understand what each attachment actually does. The choke reduces the spread of your shotgun pellets. This means the pellets stay closer together after you fire, instead of spreading out too much. Because more pellets hit the enemy, your damage becomes much more consistent, especially at the edge of shotgun range. If your goal is maximum reliability, the choke is usually the best choice. The duckbill changes the shape of the pellet spread. Instead of making the spread tighter, it makes the pellet spread wider horizontally and narrower vertically. This is useful when your crosshair is already lined up across an enemy's chest in very close range fights. It does not increase damage, but it changes how the pellets are distributed. Now let's talk about the other muzzle attachments that only the S12K can use. The flash hider reduces muzzle flash, making it easier to keep your target visible during fast fights. The compensator reduces recoil during rapid fire. While recoil is not a major issue for the S12K, it can still make consecutive shots feel a little more stable. So if you are using the S1897, S686, or another compatible shotgun, the choke is generally the safest option for consistent damage. If you prefer the horizontal pellet pattern in close range, you can use the duckbill. And if you are using the S12K, you have even more choices, so pick the muzzle that best matches your playstyle. Now let's move to the second and most important part of the video. Many players think using a shotgun is all about running straight at the enemy and hoping for a quick knock. That is exactly why they lose so many close-range fights. A shotgun is strongest when you force the enemy into your fight, not when you run into theirs. One of the biggest mistakes players make is exposing themselves for too long. They swing wide around corners, stay in open doorways, or keep chasing an enemy without thinking about their surroundings. Players usually do this because they panic after spotting an enemy. They want to finish the fight as quickly as possible, so they stop paying attention to positioning. The problem is that this gives your opponent a huge advantage. If someone using an SMG or an assault rifle sees you early, they can continuously damage you before you even reach your ideal fighting distance. Instead, use cover intelligently. Fight around doors, walls, staircases, and small rooms. Peek, reposition, and make the enemy come to you whenever possible. If you control the angle, you control the fight. For example, imagine an enemy is pushing into your building. Instead of standing in the middle of the room, play near the doorway or behind cover where you can react the moment they enter. You are forcing them to walk into your strongest range instead of giving them space to spray you from a distance. This one habit alone makes your gameplay much more consistent because you stop relying on risky pushes and start creating fights that naturally favor your weapon. Now let's move to the final part of the video. I am going to show you some training drills that will help you become much more comfortable using shotguns in real matches. These are drills that you can practice regularly, and over time, they will make your gameplay feel much more consistent. These training drills are especially helpful for improving your shotgun accuracy because they mainly focus on crosshair placement and aim tracking. The first drill is related to crosshair placement. To do this, you need to come to this area in the training ground and practice tracing your crosshair on these targets. While doing this, use all the different types of movements, like zigzag movement, crouch shoot, jump shoot, and any other movement you like. This training drill is by far one of the most effective ways to improve your shotgun accuracy because it forces you to keep your crosshair on the enemy at all times. Practicing this regularly will improve your shotgun accuracy and help you get more kills. The second drill is peek and fire. You have probably been in a situation like this at least once, where you are holding either the right or left side of an open or closed door, ready to shoot the moment an enemy appears. This drill helps you improve that movement even more. You simply have to shoot these targets in front of you by either peeking out of cover, or staying behind it and firing at the right moment. This drill is extremely helpful and will improve both your timing and your accuracy. These two drills are all you need if you want to become a shotgun master. One thing that every player must remember is that no matter how much time you spend in the training ground, if you are not spending time playing Erangel or TDM, you will not improve, no matter how much you practice. Regularly playing TDM and Erangel is what truly improves a player's overall gameplay. Play solo versus squad as much as you can, and try to use shotgun as a primary weapon. So guys, today we learned 3 important things. First, choosing the right shotgun setup is important before the fight even begins. Second, smart positioning and decision-making matter much more than simply rushing every enemy. When you force opponents into close range on your terms, your shotgun becomes far more effective. Third, practicing the right training drills consistently will improve your crosshair placement, timing, and overall confidence with shotguns. But remember, you also need to apply those skills in real matches to see the biggest improvement. If you keep applying these habits in your matches, you will stop depending on luck and start winning close-range fights much more consistently. So guys, that was all for today's video. If you found this video helpful, make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more PUBG Mobile tips, aiming guides, movement tutorials, and practical gameplay advice that will help you improve faster. Hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.